time. Ladies and gentlemen, Evans Waterman Boxing Promotions proudly presents tonight's main event, sponsored by Lance Ettinger, Corporate Finance and the Nationwide Building Society. Ladies and gentlemen, Waterman Evans proudly presents the main event for the WBF Continental European Super Cruiserweight Championship. Over 10 3-minute rounds between and introducing. Firstly, fighting out of the blue corner. He originates from Australia, now fighting out of Manchester. He weighed in at 10 stone, 14 stone, 3 pounds. Please welcome from Manchester, Chris P. Bacon. And in the bottom, ladies and gentlemen, across the ring in the red corner, wearing the black trunks trimmed with gold. He fights out of Belsize Park, London, and weighed in at 14 stone, 4 pounds. Please welcome to the ring, Belsize Park's Israel Ajose. Your referee for this contest is Mr. Marcus McDonald, the timekeeper, Mr. Michael McCann. 10 3-minute rounds for the WBF Continental European Super Cruiserweight title.
Here we go then for tonight's main event. As Michael just said, this is the vacant WBF Continental European Super Cruiserweight Championship. And between, on the right of the picture, the Tasmanian Devil himself, Chris Bacon, in action against Israel Ajose. And Chris P. Bacon. And there's an interesting story Steve Foster was telling me earlier, but more of that later. Here we go then. And, well, I've got a feeling that Chris Bacon wouldn't call himself a boxer. He's a slugger. He's a fighter. He's got a good chin and he can punch. Commonwealth Games gold medalist at judo, and also represented his country in the 1992 Olympics in Barcelona at judo. Was ranked number 8 in the world at one point. Israel Ajose, of course, beaten only once, and that ironically by a Bacon stablemate, Michael Holden, in about 18 seconds. One shot, Israel went over. The referee deemed him unfit to continue. I thought unfairly. I saw that fight on video. But Ajose has racked up 3 good wins in succession against Ray Kane, and Kane's on a good run at the moment. But one thing, of course, that would have affected Israel's preparations for this was the very sad death of his mother very recently. And my condolences, of course, to Israel and his family for that. And I've seen Israel in sharper condition, to be honest with you. Good start, though, from Bacon. And Chris Bacon, incidentally, is married, as Steve Foster was telling me, married to a Jewish girl, and well, you can work out the connection for yourself there, the Bacon, etc. Anyway, enough of that. Back to the action. This is a fight that really could go either way, to be honest with you. It's a fight where Israel will have to rise to his strengths. And I've also heard that Bacon is very hard to hurt. Craig Bowen Price, a big lad, 6'4" or 5", has been whacking him with full-blooded shots, and Bacon comes straight back. So massive Israel Ajose support in this forum in Kentish Town. Well, referee Marcus McDonald, they're warning Bacon for illegal use of the head early on. Oh, excuse me, big sneeze there. And Chris Bacon, by the way, born in Tasmania, of an English father, so he has dual nationality. He's Australian and, of course, English. Of course, we already have the Tasmanian Devil in Vinny Pazienza, and now we have the Tasmanian Devil. And at the moment, it looks like Bacon is doing enough to edge this opener. There's not been a great deal back from Ajose, to be honest. Well, now there is, and takes it right there as well. And, you know, there's a lot at stake here for these lads, and there's no telling what this title, new as it may be, may bring. And of course, professional fighting is all about making money And there can be so much riding on one single result, as there may well be here. As I say, what the future holds for the winner of this match is uncertain, but well, after a pretty dodgy start there from Israel, he came back into things and probably levelled it up. Thank you, mate. All right, mate. So round two then coming up.
10 seconds.
And this is a fascinating contest, undoubtedly.
Seconds out, round two.
So round two then, Marcus McDonald, our referee for this one. Brother, of course, of the former British featherweight champion, Jim McDonald. So let's just see who can benefit from the experience of each other in the opener. Ajose came back well, of course, after, as I say, a pretty patchy start. So he's just taking a bit of time to have a look at this foe. Bacon unbeaten in 10 fights, so that record deserves a great deal of respect. And he's won it because he's a tough guy. Good right there, catching Israel. Okay, Israel's only ever been on the floor once, and that was by Michael Holden. And as I say, he did get up, and Holden outweighed him by 3 or 4 stone. Because Ajose started his professional career as a heavyweight, but found giving away lumps of weight to too many guys, so made the sacrifice to get down to cruiser, where of course he was weak. So this super cruiserweight division, the first super cruiserweight fight in my memory in Britain, a godsend for the likes of Ajose and Bacon. Too big for the cruisers, too small for the heavyweights. This is where they belong, super cruisers. And the funny thing is, it's a weight division I've been campaigning for almost 10 years. I think I was probably the first to campaign for this division. Good right again from Bacon. So level opener, but Bacon looks like he's getting off much more regularly here in the second. Of course, the one thing that might find these two out is the 10-3s. Maybe one of the reasons that Ajose is saving a bit for the latter stages, possibly. That's a very strange transition, by the way, from judo to boxing. Not very common at all. But once again, Ajose putting in a finish here, but tagged there by a couple of good shots. Or should I say, was attempting to put in a good finish. Well, that's a big round for Bacon, I think. After a level start, I think Chris has won the second. Round 3 then of tonight's main event coming up.
Seconds out, round 3.
Just remind you, Israel Ajose of Belsize Park coming out of the red corner. Black trunks with the gold trimming. Well, they've both got black and gold, haven't they? Israel, of course, the black fighter from Belsize Park in action here against Chris Bacon from Manchester via Tasmania. I've got Bacon 1 round in front after 2. Very, very early days, of course. Well, Israel, they're getting through the decent left hook. Ajose trying to take the fight to Bacon now. I suppose if Israel does win this one, the headline could be in the London Jewish News, Israel eats bacon. And how will that sound? Well, good work here again from Chris. Oh, good shot there from Bacon. Oh, and again, and Israel took it well. Yes, Israel took that shot well, but it landed pretty crisply. And again, the right from Chris. So Israel wants to watch those punches and start getting some work done here. Israel, oh, takes a big right. I'm about to say that Israel got through the left hook, but once again, it looks like the more persistent scoring is coming from Bacon from Manchester. And again, Bacon scores nicely downstairs. Well, I've got a feeling that Chris Bacon's won that one as well, although I must admit there were some decent moments for Israel. Well, 3 rounds gone, 7 to go. And this is round 4, and well, Israel needs a round under his belt pretty soon. Otherwise, he might find this one just drifting away from him. As I say, he's had that terrible personal tragedy in the family, and it would have had an effect, I'm sure, on his preparation for this one. And of course, his mental state coming into it. Bacon, on the other hand, boxing well. Well, I say boxing well, he's not known for his boxing skills. But at the moment, lots of light little scoring punches getting home. Oh, good uppercut there. That was anything but light. And once again, Israel under a slight bit of pressure there from some head punches. Of course, one of the big things at the end of this one, one of these lads are going to go home with a belt. Oh, nice uppercut then from Chris Bacon. Well, he's now catching Israel Ajose very regularly, and that's a worrying sign. And Israel needs to let some punches go as he takes another right there. Starting to look a little bit puffy around the left eye. Oh, and again a big shot then from Bacon. This is excellent work now from Chris Bacon. Good punches. Well, it's a tough night this for Israel. And the big question now for Israel is, can he grit his teeth and come back after this? What will it do to him? Will it destroy him mentally, I wonder? As I say, he's already had enough mental anguish to deal with. And there's the bell to end a good round. The best round so far for Chris Bacon. Sorry, Chris P. Bacon. Israel Ajose twice an ABA finalist. I just wonder if he's always destined to be the bridesmaid other than the bride. Here we go then for round 5.
Seconds out, round 5.
All 4 rounds, in my opinion, in favour so far of Chris Bacon. Here he goes, putting on the pressure again. Israel comes back. So the Tasmanian Devil against the man from Belsize Park. And I'm sure both men have got concerns about 10-3s. But particularly Israel, I would think at this point. He might be saving it all for a big finish. I hope it comes off for him. But he's better start motoring soon, I think. Well, every time Israel lands a shot, he takes one back, and a good uppercut then. He's in trouble now, left hook as well. And Israel in a bit of bother now. And I'll tell you something, this is a rough patch for Israel Ajose. And Chris Bacon looking for the takeout shot. Doesn't come. Big, big moments these for Bacon. Once again, lots of negative work coming in. Oh no, that's a double negative, isn't it? I'm just about to say that, you know, Ajose, he's been tagged and he's been hurt and he's quite negative at this stage. It's the last thing he needs to be honest with you. Things are not going his way, are they? Well, Israel now trying to come back quite strongly as well. Just wonder if there's enough time for him to do that and make it effective. Well, that's another big round, I think, for Chris Bacon. Won that one pretty emphatically, in my opinion. So, 5 gone, 5 to go, and well, it's getting very, very rough now for Israel Ajose. I had the first round level, but everything so far since then, in my opinion anyway, has gone to Chris Bacon. So this Tasmanian tough guy then has done everything right so far, but Israel needs this last 5 rounds, and he needs them all. Oh, good right then from Bacon. Took an elbow though. Well, this is a much more better effort from Ajose. Had a long wide left hook there. Of course, the more Israel gets involved in a punch up here with Bacon, the better it will suit the Mancunian. As I said before, he appears difficult to hurt and seems to be a pretty thumping fighter as well. Has a fair bit of power. Not knockout punch, I don't think, you know, not devastating one punch knockout artist, but certainly hurtful. Of course, another big plus, he's got Steve Foster in his corner. Steve, of course, has been there and back. Also got Ray Farrell in the corner. Nothing more than a couple of decent punches so far from Israel in this 6th round. And I've got a feeling that the heavy investment in Israel Ajose's career is about to get a bit of a shock. If Israel were on the stock market, his shares would be plummeting, I think, at this point. And that's, you know, I'm not trying to be at all offensive, but just the way I'm seeing the fight. He may, of course, have a few tricks up his sleeve. Looking a bit lumpy around the left eye as well now, Israel. And not throwing punches, and that's the important thing. Oh, good right. Oh, and again, a left hook then from Bacon. Well, this is a bit of a nightmare, isn't it, for Ajose? And again, Bacon connects with impunity. Well, you know, once again, a bit of hustle and bustle there from Ajose, but I don't think he's done enough. For my money, Bacon's won the round again.
Corners, 10 seconds.
Round 7 coming up then, and time very much against Israel.
Seconds out, round 7.
As I say, unless I'm seeing this one entirely differently to referee Marcus McDonnell, I've got Chris Bacon in a pretty commanding lead at this point. He won everything in my opinion except round 1, which I thought was level. Israel just not throwing punches. He's promising a great deal, but delivering nothing at the moment. And when he does, they tend to be out of distance. So this inaugural Super Cruiserweight Championship, the division and the title, of course, the WBF Continental European Super Cruiserweight title. Bit of a mouthful, that. Too much of a mouthful, in fact. Much too much of a mouthful, in fact. No objection to a new title at all, but let's keep it manageable. Once again, Bacon gets the edge in his aggression. Ajose throws the punches now. Well, Israel Ajose there, let a few shots go. Nothing too damaging. Good right there from Bacon again, catching Ajose unmarked. Oh, a bit of head work there from Israel. Don't often see that from him. Possibly an accident. Well, once again, for my money, Bacon is winning everything. And once again, you know, it's no good threatening Israel. You've got to do it. And he's making me quite cross at the moment, Israel Ajose. I'm standing here thinking, my goodness, what is the point? A threat never won a fight. I suppose you're only as good as you're allowed to be, really, and Bacon really has, I think, well, I don't think it's necessarily him that's prevented Israel being good tonight. He's just been a big disappointment. Once again, the round for Bacon. He landed what punches there were in that round, I think. Well, round 8 coming up. Round 8 coming up, 3 to go, and well, you know, it's got very, very much now to the point where Israel Ajose needs a knockout to win this one. As I said, that's only my opinion, and Marcus McDonald will make his own mind up. But as I say, I think Israel's been a major disappointment tonight. You know, lots of reasons for it, I suppose, but I'm not here to make excuses for people, just to call things as I see them. And, you know, the fact is, Bacon is exactly what I expected from the reports I had. He's a no-frills, sturdy, strong, go-forward type. And I'm just wondering if Bacon is sharing my opinion that, you know, is he wondering what's to come from Israel? Not a lot has so far. Good right there again from Bacon. And again. Well, Israel's starting to get that left hand pumping, but it's no good landing half an inch short. You've got to punch through the target, make it be seen to be landing. I've got a feeling there's going to be an awful lot of disappointed punches out there for Israel tonight. This is, as I say, a disappointing performance from him. Very, very low key. I'm just wondering if there are cheers of desperation from the Ajose fans. Well, suddenly Israel starts to fire the jab. One landed. And it all looks very hard work now for Israel. And he's such a nice guy. Well, so too, of course, is Chris Bacon, as most fighters are. But it's not about being the nicest guy tonight. This is about being the toughest fighter. This is about the man who wants it most. And Bacon, of course, looking for his 11th straight victory here. And more importantly, the biggest one of his career. Same, of course, applies to Israel, who's had a much better win record. One defeat. I'll say much better. It's not that much better. I think it's 112 or 13. Well, I'm sorry, once again, you know, I can't be charitable to Ajose. He's lost that one too, in my opinion.
That's
fine, mate. Trust me.
Good man, good man.
Penultimate round then, the 9th. Well, Israel Ajose, if ever he needed a knockout punch, it's now. And I'm almost certain that the corner know it too. It takes a right there again from Bacon. Every time Israel tried to raise his game, Bacon has just upped the stakes. It's been a pretty rough fight out there as well, particularly in the later stages where things have got a little bit, not dirty necessarily, but they're certainly a bit clumsy with the head and the elbow. Well, it's Israel who wants to hang on. Obviously not confident about getting the full 10 at a full pace. Bacon, on the other hand, well, he's just ambled around that ring at his own pace, really. And they've kept him in this one pretty well. Israel, of course, a much more sensitive type. As he lands a good right there. Takes one. Well, Israel has saved an effort for the closing stages, and he's producing it now. But of course, it's going to be far too little, far too late. Well, here comes Bacon again. 3-4 good punches, and a good right. And that one caught his, and one, you know, good full marks, I think, for Israel tonight. He's taken some full-blooded shots on the chin, especially the right from Bacon, and he hasn't looked like folding except on one occasion. Certainly not much between them here in the ninth. Of course, one more round after this. In fact, I'm inclined at this point to have Ajose in front. In this round, that is. The best round he's had so far. As I say, it does worry a lot of fighters going this sort of distance for the first time. And of course, 10 rounds never bothered me, because I never did it. Oh. Well, Ajose desperately looking for that knockout punch. He's going to find Bacon a very hard nut to crack. Good round again, but this time it's gone to Ajose, in my opinion, and that's the first round I've given him, and I can't believe it. Just checking my scorecard, I've actually got it 89-83 in favour of Chris Bacon. 1 round to go. So 10th and final round then, and what I said at the start of the night still applies. Ajose needs a knockout to win this one, in my opinion. Of course, the scoring could be a great deal closer. I don't think I've got the wrong winner, to be honest with you. But I wouldn't mind if the scoring were a bit closer than I've got. I've got a 6-point gap. No, sorry, a 5-point gap at the moment. Good night then from Israel. Oh, he's looking for a punch up here now. And if that's what he wants, that's what he'll get with Bacon. Well, once again, it looks like Israel might be nicking this round. Takes a good right there, though. Yes, Israel possibly winning this round at the moment, but oh, good left hook. Catching Bacon smack on the chin there with a good punch, but it made no difference. Well, certainly reminds me of a fighter who simply didn't trust himself to do 10 rounds. Saved up far too much for the finish, Israel. And I think it's gone away from him. Just wondering if there's I don't think there's 3 judges. I think Marcus McDonough will judge this one himself, the referee. Inside the last minute then, of the last round. Where on earth will they go? Well, we're getting a good finish. No doubt about that. The last 2 rounds have been the best of the fight, apart from the opener. Another thing, of course, for the most part, Bacon's been the man going forward, making the fight. There's the bell. Where's he going to go? Where's he going to go? He's gone for Bacon. Chris Bacon is the new WBF Intercontinental European Super Cruiserweight Champion, the inaugural champion, and that's a very good performance by Chris Bacon. A very disappointing performance from Israel Ajose, but pulled out in the last 2, but not enough. I thought he won the last 2 and levelled the first, and that's about it, I'm afraid. Just check my scorecard.
Ladies and gentlemen, the referee's scorecard after the 10 rounds of boxing reads for Israel Ajose 95 points, for Chris Bacon 97 points, the winner at new WBF Continental European Super Cruiserweight Champion, Chris P. Bacon!
So Chris P. Bacon then the new champion.
The new WBF World Champion, Cornelius Carr.
That's a fitting gesture. Cornelius Carr presenting the belt to Chris Bacon. Well, he had it 97-95, which is 3 rounds to 5 and 2 even. I had it 99-93. Sorry, 98-93. Which was 7 rounds to 2 and 1 even. And well, bad luck Israel, bad night at the office for him.
This evening's fights is available from Eurosport's Steve Holsworth in the centre of the hall.
So there you are then, an excellent night. In fact, a good night's boxing here from the forum in Kentish Town. And you know, regardless of the score, the right man won the fight. Quite right too.
Chris P. Bacon.
Yeah, and Israel, the first man to acknowledge Chris Bacon. He's a very sporting character, nice guy, but ultimately disappointing on the night, I'm afraid.
On behalf of Evans and Warner Promotions, thank you for coming along. We hope you enjoyed yourselves. We look forward to seeing you in the not too distant future.
Absolutely right. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Well done to everybody. Well done to everybody. Especially thank you, Jim Evans and Rob Waterman.